Okay, in this video I'm going to show you data validation and how you can use it to restrict answers that can be put inside a cell. Let's say you were to ask the question, who is your favorite Star Wars character? Now the problem is, let's say you have this little area there, I'm just going to merge those, where students can type an answer in, and let's say they say Spock, which is incorrect because he's not from Star Wars, he's from Star Trek. So you go back and you think, why did I shouldn't have even allowed them the chance to do that. Data validation allows you to essentially lock in the potential answers that they can do. So let's say for this cell, I'm going to right click on it and go to data validation. So here's the range. Here's what I can do. I can do criteria list from range. I'm going to make the simple first. I'm going to do list of items. So I'm going to enter, they can only pick these couple items. So let's say I want them to make a choice. They have to choose between either Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. And I'm not going to give them a warning if they put invalid data. I'm actually going to straight out reject it and not allow them to enter it. So they can either enter Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. And that comma there will separate all my values. Now, if necessary, I can put show help, click and enter value. So now I can say, pick a character from Star Wars. So let's say that we were to do this where they want to say, haha, I'm going to be funny and I'm going to type Spock. It's actually going to warn them and say, no, you have to pick a character from Star Wars. Now I have this little arrow right here, that drop down arrow. If I click on that, it's going to give me my options, either Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. It won't let them enter anything but one of those two. It's validating the data saying that they have to have one of those two. Now, it can kind of get a bit of a pain. Let's say you have a whole bunch of things. You don't want to have to type out Boba Fett, Han Solo, etc., etc., etc. You could do that, and of course if you hit save, it would give you all those options, but that can be kind of tedious. So instead you can still use data validation, only you can select it from a range. I'm going to bring some in now. So here I have a list of characters from the original trilogy of Star Wars, and I want them to only pick from one of those. If there's something else I want to, let's just say they want to add in something from Return of the Jedi, and consider the Sarlacc to be a character, that's fine, we can add that in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that and change that data validation, not from a list, but I want to choose it from a range, where you're going to pull from only the things that are in this range. So what I want to do is I've picked from a range. Now I click on this thing here where it says select range, and I'm going to select this area right here. So you can only pick something that appears in those boxes there. If there's any problems, reject the input, and here's the help to show them. Now, they can put anything in there. Let's say they want to choose Darth Vader, or they can choose Yoda, or they could choose Boba Fett. Anything that appears down there is fair game. And the nice thing about this is that it's very flexible. I could add something else in here. Oh, shoot, I didn't think of that. And instead of having to type it in manually into, one cell at a time, I could just say, oh, I totally forgot about Greedo. Okay, now if I go back up here, since I've updated that range, I've also updated that there, and now he's another thing that I can select. So here I am, instead of picking from a list, now I'm picking from there. Sometimes I can ask a simple question. Maybe I just want a yes or no. So something like that, that's really good for data validation, and I'm going to do list of items. And here, I don't need to worry about having a range, I just want to put yes or no. So now, is Star Wars better than Star Trek? Pick yes. There you go, data validation.